Thanks for coming tonight. Lots of stuff to do on a June evening, so thanks for coming and hearing our poetry. We did limericks and we did haikus, so I'll start with some limericks, or maybe a limerick. Rumors swirl around the coffee at Tim Hortons. They're brewing more than caffeine in their potions. The lineups round the block at all hours of the clock say, "You won't need the patch to quit smoking." Another form that we did is Greek poetry, which at least two of the forms that we did tend to be on tombstones, and the other was, basically honoring somebody who passed away. This is Elegy for Jeff Healey. One of the most phenomenal guitarists of our times is dead. Blind from childhood, he played flat out, in front, and over the top. With fiery and righteous conviction, all of his notes ringing out with truth. A master musician, he had that king tone, bold, rich, and full. In keeping with the homage he paid to a previous fallen master, this morning, the guitars in this world and the next all gently weep. There was a young man from Chicago in love with singer Nelly Furtado. "I may have to stalk her, 'cause I'd sure like to bop her," he said, dreaming of Nelly's Furtado. This is a rondel form. It's usually not a serious poem, but it came out that way. It's called Old Soldier's Lament. It's about the US and Iraq. I guess that'll be obvious. We're fighting another unwinnable war. Haven't we seen this foobar before? Wasn't the Gulf War in '91? I'm talking about Nam and the Viet Cong. They told us, boys, it'll be over by '64. We might have learned from the French what lay in store. They'd been dying in those jungles since '54. But we believed the politicians. We were foolish and young, and soon we were fighting an unwinnable war. And what's become of the lessons we were dying for? I remember the body bags and the young lives cut short. Were these lessons lost on the politicians? Would their memories work better if they'd seen the blood on the guns? Again, our young men are dying, the country is torn, and we're losing another unwinnable war. In The Terminator, Arnold was a hack, but still determined to prove he could act. He had a new script sent over about a German composer. Then Arnie exclaimed, "I'll be back." There once was a man from Nantucket whose cocky limerick should have gone in the bucket. That he was hung like a bear, some circus might care. Oh, that self-absorbed man from Nantucket. Coming back to some Greek forms, this is an epigram. Epigram is usually on a headstone and usually has some twist. Why are you here? Why are you wasting your precious life moments reading dead words off a dead stone, stooping reverently over my rotten dead man's carcass? Idiot! Go out and get laid, or in the least, red wine drunk. Stop hanging around here. You'll be with us soon enough. There once was a man from New York who decided he would stop eating pork. He ate so much tofu, it plugged up his wazoo with all the flavor and effect of a cork. Here's a pair of haikus about Saskatchewan. Long blue horizon, I see for 50 miles. City mind goes out. Sky transcending blue. Horizon vaults into space. I am on homeland. A couple weeks ago, we did confessional poetry. I don't even know what that is. Really. It's personal, but this is called On the Cross of Time and Space. Of what purpose is growing old? It seems unjust to feel the same as I did 20 or even 30 years ago, when I'm heavier and slower now. My knees ache in the cold, and the hair on my face grows out silver, not gold. It seems cruel to have to witness my physical demise one day at a time as I'm slowly crucified on the cross of time and space. Each day's sunset bringing me closer to the final letting go of everything. The road in front is now shorter than the road behind. And though I aspired to take the road less traveled, I did not, and have been trudging along these many years with mediocrity and compliance as my companions. And this is it, and it is half gone. The rules and scorekeeping of the world seem hollow now. At some point, life and dying become a perpetual parade of losses, grieving and goodbyes to abilities and skills, appetites, vitalities, possessions, friends, and relationships. We ultimately let go of everything we are not, so as to discover the final, irreducible, and only thing we truly are. So I've got, I'll read one Japanese poem, a tanka, and one last limerick, and that'll be it for my poetry. So here's the tanka. This is about driving from between Calgary and Edmonton. I hope some of you can relate. Cow-freckled landscape, black, white, browns framed on green field. Car window picture, a bovine intervention during long journey back home. And one last limerick. There was a man who declared he was a Jesus, who could not be dissuaded with reason. When all attempts failed, we got a cross and some nails. He then remembered he was Julius Caesar.